Hello, and today I'm going to show you some basic movements that you can create using your panels that you made for storyboarding in After Effects. This is just to give the illusion of a camera movement if you were working on a movie or a TV show. So I have one panel that I've created here. It is on my timeline for 10 seconds long right now. I'm going to collapse down on this where I have my transform functions, and I have my stopwatch here. I'm going to move my playhead to the end of my timeline, and I'm going to select position, scale, and opacity. And basically what I want to do is just show like maybe a zoom in or zoom out, a fade in, fade out, or a pan left or right. And I'm basically, these three will help me do those things. So once I turn the stopwatches on, I have my keyframes that are right here. And I had it at the end of my timeline. So I'm going to have this where it fades in and it zooms out. So to zoom out, I have to start with it zooming in. So at the beginning of my timeline, I'm going to go ahead and pull my scale so that it's zooming in. And not only that, I like that it's zooming, but I want it to have a focal point. I don't want it to zoom just for the sake of zooming. So I'm going to start on this head of this tree, basically. And when I click and drag on it, it shifts my position over. So I'm going to hit the space bar and see how that works. And it looks pretty good. It's zooming out just like I wanted to. But now I'm thinking I want it to hold a little bit on my composition, not just constantly zoom out. So I'm going to take my end keyframes and select them, and I'm going to move them to be about right here, about 6.5 seconds. And I like that. Let's see if that moves it. It zooms in, or I'm sorry, it zooms out a little bit quicker, but then it holds my image. And that's kind of what I want. I like that. I would like it to fade out at the end. So I'm going to go to the end of my timeline and I'm going to click on opacity and bring that down. Now, the thing is, I don't need it to zoom out or fade out that whole entire time. I want it to hold and then fade out. So I'm going to select this guy here and I'm going to hit Command C. And wherever my playhead is, I'm going to put Command V for paste. So I've copied and pasted that keyframe of my opacity. So it holds a little bit and then it fades out. Let's see if we can do something similar over here. So in the beginning, I want this to fade in. So I'm going to bring this down to 0. And I want to have it about right here where it's going to be 100%. So it fades in. And we have some simple movements. Excellent. Just because something can move doesn't mean it necessarily should move. Think about the way that you want to have your timing and pacing for your particular panels and your panels as a sequence. This is just to show you some simple ways to have some fun with your panels to get you started on your main sequence. Hopefully this will help. When you're ready to render this out, I want to remind you to go to File, and you're going to go to Export, and you're going to go to Add Render Queue or your Media Encoder. Don't just save the file the way that you have it in After Effects. It doesn't do anybody any good if it's not a self-contained movie. So I'm going to go to Output, and I'm going to go ahead and call it a storyboard sample. That sounds like a great name. And I'm going to hit Save. And then I'll click on render and it will make that movie, makes that happy sound, and it lets me know it's all done. Hopefully this helps you, and I will talk to you later. Happy editing.